Welcome to the module Impact of Early Trauma in the Developing Brain. This module is built around 4 videos previously developed by the Institute of Child Development at the University of Minnesota, the Institute for Translational Research in Children's Mental Health, and the Center for Advanced Studies in Child Welfare helped develop this module to facilitate training around the videos. Before to go any further, we recommend to print the module booklet. It will help you to keep all the notes from the module organized. You will find a PDF that you can print on the module homepage. The video series was developed to assist practitioners in understanding the impact of early trauma on the developing children's brain. The topic of the videos include brain architecture, how serve and return interactions shape brain development, stress and its impact on brain development, and resilience. Although the content of the video is centered on child development, the aim of this module is to encourage reflection and discussion on the practice implications of connecting early brain development with the current child welfare practice. To do so, the module is organized in 4 sections based on the 4 video series. Each section has the same structure. The module will first provide a synopsis of the video, and then you will be asked to watch the video. To do so, when it is time to watch the video, a link to the video will appear on the top right corner of your screen and suggest you to click on it. When clicking on the link, the module will pause and you will be directed to a short video on brain development. You can also refer to the video's description for a link to the videos. After watching the video, you will be provided with key points and asked comprehension questions and reflective questions. This module is meant to be used in a variety of settings, such as staff meetings, supervisions, and for personal reflection and professional development. When using the module during supervisions or staff meetings, the module can easily be cut in 4 sections. Workers could watch a video individually, then a supervisor could use the questions provided to facilitate a discussion during supervision or an all-staff meeting. Early experiences build brain architecture. In this first section, you will learn how early experiences shape the development of young brains. The video is approximately 5.5 minutes long. To get the maximum out of this module, and because the videos have a rich content, we encourage you to take notes while watching the video. This will also provide you with a support when answering recap and reflection questions. A link to the video will now appear on the top right corner of your screen. Please click on it to watch the video. In addition to your personal notes, the following bullets are the main takeaways from the video. Early brain development impacts the course of later life. The brain works as a whole. Using the analogy of a house, the brain requires a solid foundation on which to base further development. When the foundations are not set well, poor information will be sent to higher centers. To build solid foundations, a child needs nurturing and responsive interactions, good nutrition, and minimal exposure to stress. Children growing up in an environment with these characteristics enter school better prepared to learn than children who don't have these experiences. Utilize the following questions to help you process the information from the video. What are the 3 factors necessary for a healthy brain architecture to form? What is pruning? What function does it serve in brain development? Describe the analogy between brain development and building a house, using a specific example. You can pause the video and answer the questions on your own or in a supervision context as a group. This section of the module is encouraging you to reflect on your practice and your experience based on what you learn about the brain architecture. Pause the video and take time to answer each question. Note that you'll find an additional question on the next slide. If you are using this module in a supervision context, we encourage individuals to think about their answer before engaging in a group discussion. The video highlights that there is a gap between science and practice. Do you believe this is to be true in the field of child welfare? In your agency? In your work specifically? Can you identify any specific ways in which your work with children, youth, and families conflicts with what science suggests we should do? Now pause the video to answer the questions. Reflecting on the notion that the brain works as a coherent whole, in your opinion, is this in line with how the child welfare system is designated to perceive and serve youth and their families? Again, pause the video and take time to answer the questions. Part 2. Serve and return interactions. In this second section of the module, you will learn that the most important experiences for the brain to develop a solid architecture are responsive and nurturing interactions between young children and their caregivers. These experiences are called serve and return. The video is approximately 5 minutes long. To get the maximum out of this module, and because the video have a rich content, we encourage you to take notes while watching the video. A link to the video will now appear on the top right corner of your screen. Please click on it to watch the video. In addition to your personal notes, the following are the main takeaways from the video. Parent engagement starting at birth is one of the most important things parents can do to support the development of their child. As in games like tennis and volleyball, the serve happens when an infant cries, smiles, or coos. The return is what happens when the adult notices the infant's serve and responds appropriately by picking up the crying baby, smiling back, or making some vocalizations in response. In the first 4 years, the brain experiences a large growth in the area of hearing, vision, language, communication, and movement. Through serve and return interaction, pathways in the brain are confirmed, allowing a child to develop a strong brain architecture. Children who experience positive serve and return interactions start school with better social skills, emotional regulation, and a greater ability to focus in comparison with children who experience poor interaction. Children experiencing a lack of serve and return interaction is one of the causes of the education gap. The Center for Advanced Studies in Child Welfare developed in partnership with the Institute of Child Devlopment and the Center for Early Education and Development a series of 5 training videos on serve and return. These in-depth videos demonstrate what quality interaction look like in real life and what kind of behaviors and capacities a parent or foster parents needs to best support a child development. To access these videos, type this link in your browser. It will direct you to the home page of the videos. To watch the videos, you will need a password. It can easily be requested by filling a form. The link to the form is accessible on the video's homepage. To watch the 5 videos, you'll need approximately 40 minutes. The videos on serve and return are not directly part of this module, but provide a concrete and real-life example of serve and return between young children and caregivers. If you wish not to look at the videos now, you will find the link to the videos at the end of your booklet. You can also pause the video now to copy the link. To help you assimilate the information from the video, try to answer the following comprehension questions. Describe serve and return in your own words and give an example. What important function do responsive adult interactions serve? What are the benefits of positive adult interaction? How can positive infant-adult interaction be observed? What are some of the key features? Do you have examples from your own experiences? You can pause the video and answer the questions on your own or in a supervision context answer the question as a group. This section of the module is encouraging you to reflect on your practice and your experience based on what you learn about serve and return. Pause the video and take time to answer each question. The 2 following slides also provide reflective questions. How are you currently promoting positive adult interaction or increasing the capacity for positive adult interactions in your work with children, youth, and families? Now pause the video. Research demonstrates that it is easier to strengthen healthy development pathway earlier than it is to try to fix or respond to problem later. What are the implications of this knowledge in child welfare practice? What are the challenges, barriers to early intervention, the opportunities? Pause the video to answer these 2 questions. These are the last reflection questions for this section of the module. Following the idea of communities coming together to build healthy brain architecture in young children, what do you see as the child welfare system's role? How can you contribute through your work? Where are opportunities for you to encourage this practice in your work? Now pause the video to answer the questions. Section 3. Impact of stress on brain development. In this third section, you will learn about the impact of stress on brain development. Stress is the result of a natural chemical reaction in the body. However, too much stress for too long can have negative consequences for the developing brain, and in the early years, it can change the architecture of the brain. Additionally, you will learn about the Adverse Childhood Experiences study. This study revealed a relationship between an individual's adverse childhood experiences before age 18 and a risk of health issues later in life. The video is approximately 6 minutes long. To get the maximum out of this module, and because the videos have a rich content, we once again encourage you to take notes while watching the video. A link to the video will now appear on the top right corner of your screen. Please click on it to watch the video. In addition to your notes, these are the main takeaways of the video. Stress can be understood as a spectrum. Positive stressors are necessary human experiences that activate the stress response system for a short time. Through this type of stress, children, with the help of sensitive and responsive caregivers, learn how to deal with disappointment, minor injuries, pain. When experiencing tolerable stress, children are confronted to life-threatening events or events impacting their well-being, but benefit from the support of a caregiver to help manage and turn off the biological stress response. Toxic levels of stress occur when life-threatening events happen in a context in which the child does not reliably have a supportive and nurturing caregiver to help manage the stress, or when the caregiver may be the cause of the dangerous or life-threatening event. Toxic stress can impact brain functions and affect the long-term health. The main takeaway on adverse childhood experiences is that they create toxic stress and are related to higher rates of health issues. To know more about the key points of the ACE study, click on the link that appears on the top right corner of your screen. It will direct you to a PDF document created by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. You will be able to learn about the ACE study through a couple of infographics. Also, if you're interested in learning more about ACEs, we will provide additional resources at the end of this module. Now that you have learned more about stress and the ACE study, try to answer the following recap questions. What are the 3 types of stress? Describe a situation linked to each type of stress. How is stress valuable to development? What parts of the brain are most impacted by toxic stress? and what are some of the long-term impacts of this? What are ACEs? What is the relationship between ACEs, stress, and brain development? You can pause the video and answer the question on your own, or in a supervision context, answer the question as a group. This section of the module is encouraging you to reflect on your practice and your experience based on what you learn about stress and brain development. Now that you learn more about toxic stress and its consequences on brain development and health, will this have implications for your work with youth, children, and caregivers? In which way? How might this information impact the decision you make or the system should make once a child has been removed from his or her primary caregiver? What are your thoughts on this and multiple or disrupted placements? What are your thoughts on the possible intergenerational impact of toxic stress? Do you have examples from your work? Pause the video and take time to answer each question. This section continues on the next slide. If you are using the model in a supervision context, we encourage each worker to think about their answer by themselves before to engage in a group discussion. When you looked at the infographics presented by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which information surprised you? You learned that ACEs are common and happen in cluster. How does this information compare to your experience working with youth, children, and caregivers in the child welfare system? What would an ACE-informed or trauma-informed child welfare system look like? What are the challenges, barriers? What are the opportunities? Pause the video and take time to answer the questions as you did previously. Coping with early adversity and mitigating its effects. This is the last section of the module. In this last section, entitled Coping with Early Adversity and Mitigating Its Effects, you will learn about resilience using the image of a teeter-totter with healthy development on one side and disruptive development on the other side. The video is approximately 7 minutes long. To get the maximum out of this module, and because the video have a rich content, we encourage you for the last time to take notes while watching the video. A link to the video will now appear on the top right corner of your screen. Please click on the link to watch the video. Adding to your notes, the main takeaways of the video are that resilience is defined as a way of coping with stress and mitigating its damaging effects. Using the teeter-totter image, resilience occurs when the teeter-totter is balanced between negative and positive experiences, or tipped in favor of positive experiences. Nurturing and responsive relationships are a key to resilience. Resilience is a process. What can be observed from resilience varies from individual to individual. Finally, human development is dynamic. The early childhood years are a period of major development. Positive experiences later in life can contribute to one's resilience. The following recap questions should help you assimilate the content of the video. What does resilience mean? What is the most important factor to promote resilience? You can pause the video and answer the questions. This section of the module is encouraging you to reflect on your practice and your experience based on what you learn about resilience. What signs of resilience have you noticed in the children on your caseload? How do you know that they are signs of resilience, and how do you build on them? What are some resources that child welfare professionals can access to weight the teeter-totter towards healthy development for children who have experienced adversity? Pause the video and take time to answer each question. This section will continue on the next slide. What are some strategies that you can use in your work to support caregivers of children and adolescents who have experienced adversity? How might resilience or supporting resilience change depending on the cultural backgrounds of the families with which you work? Once again, you can pause the video and take time to answer the questions. Now that you have completed the module, we encourage you to share the videos with professionals outside child welfare to facilitate conversations and increase understanding of child's behavior. All the videos are easily accessible online. You have a list of the links at the end of your booklet. To conclude, what could you do to share this information with professionals working with the children on your caseload? School social workers, children's mental health workers, resource family, kinship family, guardian, etc. Also, what are the main takeaways from this module that you will incorporate in your practice? For the last time, pause the video to take the time to answer these 2 questions. You can find all these resources at the end of your booklet. The first link is for a short and accessible video on YouTube created by the Alberta Family Wellness Initiative. The video covers similar information than what you learn in the modules in only 4 minutes. This is a great resource to share. The CW360 magazine is edited by the Center for Advanced Studies in Child Welfare. The second link displayed is the Winter 2012 issue. The issue is on using developmental approach in child welfare practice. The third link that you have on the slide is for the Winter 2013 issue on trauma-informed child welfare practice. Pay Now or Pay Later is the 5th video of the video series used for this module. The video emphasizes the importance for stakeholders to invest in early childhood. If you are interested to learn more about ACEs, the video Impact of ACEs on Health Across the Life course is a 20 minutes long YouTube video on the detail of the ACE study, to learn more about how the first research on ACE was conducted. The ACE website will give you access to a range of information. And to have more information on ACEs specifically in Minnesota, this last link will give you access to the executive summary on the ACE study in Minnesota. Thank you for watching this module. Now that you have completed this module, you can submit the request for a completion certificate on the module webpage to keep for your records. Thank you again.